Welcome to the InStory show. I'm Devorah Spilman, your host. Our theme this season is what does it mean to expand into a new story? And how do you come out of hiding and dare to be seen for who you really are by saying yes to your soul and telling your story? So today I am thrilled to welcome Tiffany Cano. Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It is a pleasure. I'm going to read a little bit about you and then we will dive in. Tiffany Cano is an energy healer and CEO of Highly Perceptive People Academy. She has been getting paid for healing since she was 8 years old, guiding empaths, intuitives, and transformational leaders to clear blind spots, strengthen boundaries, and trust their intuition. Tiffany is the creator of the Loved, Seen, Heard TV show and will be featured in three upcoming transformational documentaries: Frequency of Miracles, Pillars of Power, and Rise of the Lioness. Known for blending science and spirituality, she facilitates deep, lasting healing that helps people feel safe, empowered, and open to receiving more love, money, and joy. All right, that all sounds really wonderful.
Thank you.
Really, really wonderful. So I love people's stories and I love this idea of expanding into a new story, but I also kind of love the little hint you gave us about how you've been healing people since you were 8 years old. So maybe you want to tell us a little bit about little girl Tiffany and lead us forward a little bit.
Well, little girl Tiffany started doing something that looked like massage at my dad's barn, and he didn't know what I was doing, but he said, "You should charge $1 for 10 minutes." So I was like, "Okay." He was a horse trainer, an entrepreneur, he though he doesn't remember, he started me valuing my gifts and skills at a very young age. And I've just always been fascinated with anything that's like spiritual, metaphysics, clairvoyance, energy healing, science, neuroscience. It's been such a joy to learn and grow over the years and to facilitate healing and teaching for so long now.
So it so did you kind of keep that going like all through your school years and your young adult years? Like did you have to hide it for a little while?
I did have to hide parts of myself, um, because when certain family members, my dad included, found out, he was freaked out by it and used to call me a witch and didn't get it, and it was against his Catholic upbringing. My mom was really supportive of me all along, which was very lovely, and I started studying with different healing masters from an early teenage years onward to hone and refine my skills. And then in college, I created a metaphysical club so I could try to bring more people my own age together, not just like being around, adults. I was probably one of those old souls or just one that remembered a lot of things from past lives and could tap into divine wisdom and blessings and healing and seeing clairvoyantly and, you know,
You were
had a
known
fun
as
time.
this when you were in high school, which is why you started a club.
In high school, I had to hide it a little bit because my friends were freaked out. There was one person, my own age in high school, that I could talk to this anything that was spiritual, meditation, metaphysical about, and he totally got it. And that was nice.
So, but in college, you were able to expand
Correct. And then
more.
after college, I opened up a holistic healing center up in Sacramento, Pranapath. And I did that for, I don't know, maybe 4 years, maybe. And then I turned it over to the chiropractor who worked there because I wanted to travel the world. And all of my clients were, a bunch of my clients, half were distant healings anyway. So I'm like, why do I have this cumbersome storefront when I can work on anyone anywhere in the world at any time? So I switched roles, turned it over to him, and then just started renting from him while I went and played and traveled the world and did distant healings.
Brilliant. And so so this has been who you've been your whole life.
Yes.
All right. So where does it get stuck? Like like I have found that even those of us who've kind of done our gifted thing all our lives, it reshapes itself and has new incarnations and, you know.
Well, I would say every new level of my business and visibility required a new level of me. And I have kind of done that. Oh, let me pop out of my meditation cave and be seen. Oh, nope, too scary. I'm coming back in and hiding. And so I've definitely had a few of those off and on. And then probably the worst one was when I had a bad car accident and just I had a concussion for 3 friggin' years. With God's blessings, I could still facilitate healing and miracles for everybody else, but not for me. I, was dizzy and nauseous and headachy for like 3 freaking years. I gained a lot of weight. My body was in pain and I did kind of hide. Like I only wanted to do Zoom. I did not want to do anything in person. I didn't want to leave my house really. And then COVID hit and it just kind of magnified that. And I was such a happy little camper being having to be home. I loved it. And then at a certain point, um, the fog lifted and it was time to start getting out there in the world, to stop hiding, to let go of whatever numbness, pain, fogginess, resistant to being seen, fear of being judged and criticized, because now I was more um overweight than I was before. So there was a couple years where I just was deep dive going in, hiring other healers, people to work on me, and I busted through several layers of feeling unsafe to be seen, unsafe to put myself out there. And then after a certain point, I guess I must have been cleared enough because I got the download to record a TV show. Loved, seen, heard. And then I had my editor quit, so I had to table that for a little while. But meanwhile, I got invited to be in a few documentary transformation movies. So I was filmed in Frequency of Miracles, Pillars of Power, discover the hidden secrets behind achieving greatness. And then next month, I'm filming in Rise of the Lioness, the power of feminine leadership. And so I went from not wanting anything to do with movies, Hollywood, being seen, to now being in movies, and then was brought into the team for the Los Angeles Tribune's film division as a creative producer. So 2 of those movies, I'm a creative producer and I'm in it. And then I was just at the Los Angeles Tribune's annual International Film Festival and I met a bunch of new people and they're like, "Hey, you're a content provider. Do you want to be on my platform?" And I'm like, I actually already have season 1 of my Love Seen Heard TV show. Let me go take a look. And then it was just like the skies parted, the stars aligned, and it was just time. I had the editor who could do it, who could finish the project. I had the where to put it. So now Love Seen Heard TV show is going to be out on places like Amazon Fire, Roku, Apple, iOS, Samsung. We're putting it up to be on some of the fast channels like Tubi, and so several places.
Yay.
And that's coming out. So I went from hiding to, hey, this is me. How can I help? How can I love? How can I serve?
So what do you think is the essence of the message that's coming through? Like, what do these people want from, like, what do you bring to them? Do you know what I'm asking? Like, what's your message that you're bringing?
I just love and serve. And I guess what a lot of my clients have told me during healing sessions or a workshop is they feel safer than they've ever felt. And they feel more loved and connected to divine love in profound ways and more clarity and being able to trust themselves, like not only get those messages, but be able to discern, oh,
Mhm.
that was higher intuition. Oh, that was a personality part. That was my inner child. Oh, what just spoke there was my inner victim, right? And being able to discern
Mhm.
what those messages are and then take divinely guided action with confidence.
Mhm. So do you feel like there's an area that's opening up more now than before? Like an area of awareness or consciousness or potential in healing that's opening up more and more?
Well, from a macro perspective, we are still on a global evolution, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like it. But we are in an upward trajectory from a macro cosmic spiritual perspective. Have there been some things that appear like we're backpedaling, in this year? Kind of looks like that to me. And I've noticed a lot of people have been frozen, like the survival patterns and mechanisms of the fight, flight, freeze, fawn for trauma response patterns have been really activated, especially the frozen, like the can't move, the can't think, the overwhelmed. I don't want
Mhm.
to make the wrong decision. It's hard for me to decide that right now. I need more certainty, right? So there's been a lot of fear that needs
Mhm.
light, more love, more healing shed upon the world and to clear out those trauma patterns. Those are trauma response patterns. So
Yeah.
going into like, when was the earliest time you felt unsafe? When was the earliest time you were frozen? When you couldn't make a decision or take that action, even if you knew it was good for you? And then facilitate healing for that so that they can empower themselves to be the superhero that they already are.
Yeah.
Just dust off the cobwebs.
Right. Well, and I think there's more acceptance for this kind of energy healing, for psychic energy, for empathic energy, for all the highly perceptive, highly sensitive, that whole realm that was just, I just had a pre-interview with someone else she was like diagnosed with bipolar, but she was just an empath. It was a long
Yeah.
time ago. Like, there is this sense that there's more awareness, at least in some circles, and we can kind of find each other, that there more acceptance for more perception, more energy connection,
Hmm.
more this higher consciousness work. So I think that's encouraging. Like, I think we
It
are
is. I
seeing
mean,
that.
people didn't know what an aura or a chakra was 20, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, where in the last 5, 10 years, most people know what an aura or a chakra is.
Right.
Um, Something as simple as that, right? So that shows evolution for sure. And I think there's a yearning, this wanting to be more fulfilled. And I think a lot of Western folks, we look outward. We're trained to look outward like, oh, get a new house, new car, new this, new that, you know, where in Eastern philosophies, we're trained to look in, connect to source, connect to the divinity within you, and letting that be the most fulfilling, loving, incredible, juicy, blissful, exquisite love you could ever feel.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel it's just my one of my soapboxes is just how it's just educated right out of them in our school system. That
Mhm.
we all have that. We all have that ability to feel that divine love, to feel that expansion, and maybe that's why this season I feel this sense of what does it mean to expand into a new story that like we're like that box of the old story that's like very science driven, very rules driven, very prove what you can see driven, or obedience and compliance. Like we're kind of, many of us are like, we're over it.
Yeah.
And so I think that this feeling that feels encouraging to me is here you are being asked to do all this whole way you've been. Now it's like, please, can you say this more? Right? Like from
Mhm.
hiding to suddenly this is being asked of you to come out more.
Yeah, I mean, 2 years ago, I never would have thought about being in a movie ever, ever. And yet, I've filmed two and I'm about to film my third next month, and they all come out in 2026. So, there's a lot of really incredible opportunities that have unfolded because I've done enough of the inner work. And we're not done there, folks. We still, every new level of expansion requires a new inner foundation to hold that expansion.
Right.
So
Right.
that alignment, congruence, so we can grow gracefully.
I agree. I agree. You can't get around the work. It's like, okay, I'm all done. Yeah, right.
Yeah, when you get to enlightenment, that's when you're done.
Yeah. So
Until then,
meanwhile,
keep
well,
trucking away.
well, we got these bodies, like in this physical world, we're going to get lessons. So anyway, do you want to give us a little experience of something that can not just be our talking about it and thinking about it,
Sure.
but a little energetic experience of a shift?
Absolutely. So I've been trained in many, many, many modalities. I love woo-woo stuff. I love science. Um, you'll get one of my combination of woo-woo plus science gifts when you do pick up the gift at the end, and I'll tell you more about that then. But I thought something short and sweet that's also very helpful that we'll do now is a crossover balance. It's part of Summit Transformation. And you start with a goal. And then, so we'll write down a simple present tense goal statement here in just a moment. And then I'm going to take you through a process where you get your right and your left brain aligned, and the corpus callosum, which is like your brain bridge that lets your right and left brain talk, like everything gets aligned and congruent with this new goal. And we'll muscle test before and after to make sure that you are aligned. So everyone at home, as well as go ahead and write down a positive present tense goal statement. And since we're talking about like being seen, for example, maybe it's something like, I'm safe to be visible, or um, my clients joyfully find me and pay me well, or um, I'm super prosperous and abundant. Like you can make it about anything as long as it's a simple present tense goal statement. And after you've done yours, if you could share so I can use you as a demo to muscle test, that'd be great.
Okay, so I'll do one for any that's both for me and for anyone else who's working on clients. That my clients, just what you said is a beautiful line. My clients joyfully find me and pay me well.
Mm.
You said that.
That was a good one.
Uh-huh.
Good job,
But I was
Tiff.
like, because whenever you're the host, you do your own thing and you hold the energy for the whole
Absolutely.
summit. And a lot of us feel like, who am I to ask people to pay me? Like I get that a lot. I bump into it. And so I think my clients joyfully find me and pay me well. That just was like a beautiful little download there of yours.
And for someone who needs that, a statement that's a bridge to get to that, it would be, I own my value and worth.
Yeah, I own my value and worth. Yeah,
Yeah. So there might, if someone needs that as a stepping
yeah.
stone to get to this new one. And
That's a really good one because that is such
yeah,
a base. We
that
can
is
start with
one
that.
of,
Maybe we should start with that, honestly.
well,
I mean, I like the other one too, but we all have to do this.
okay,
I own my value and worth.
here. Say the other one. I'm going to compare.
Okay. My clients joyfully find me and pay me well.
I still get that we need to do that one for
It,
you.
it, it is a
So
good one.
we can
Okay.
hold this space for everybody, but all the viewers can do whatever one you want. Okay.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Great.
So when I muscle test it, it tests weak, meaning you don't yet own it. It's not in you yet. But within a few minutes, we'll retest, and like 99.9% of the time it's done. Okay.
Okay. Good.
So we're going to take that goal, and you'll cross your arms at your chest like this. Okay. Close your eyes and mentally, silently repeat your goal statement in your mind over and over again. So if your goal statement was, my clients joyfully find me and pay me well, use that. Or if there's a different one, repeat that for the next minute or two. Keep breathing. I could feel a few of you holding your breath. When you're ready, uncross and recross so the other arm is on top. Continue mentally, silently repeating your goal. Okay, when you're ready, put your hands in front of your chest, about 6 inches from your chest, and start tapping your fingertips together like this. And then continue to say your same goal statement with your eyes closed for another minute or so. No more tap, just touch. And continue repeating your goal statement another minute or so. You're ready, you can relax. Okay, verbally say that goal statement aloud, you and the viewers at home.
Okay. My clients joyfully find me and pay me well.
So now muscle test strong for you, and let me test for the group. Yep. Test well for the group too. High 10, everyone. Good job. Good job. Whoop, whoop. All
Very good.
right. You created some new neural pathways around that goal to help you be more successful in that area. So, what is one or more action steps that you can take to anchor it in even further? So, for example, one of mine that I am working on is adding more stuff to my IMDb page and then getting my wiki page updated and approved.
So one of mine is that I'm going to be on the other side of the mic on a couple of summits coming up.
Nice.
So that allows people to see
Okay.
from the other
Is
side.
there anything you can do though within the next 1 to 2 days? See, that's actually a key part
Well,
of this
one of them is
process.
my interview tomorrow. One of them I'm going
Okay.
to interview tomorrow, and I can follow up with two people I've recently spoken with, potential clients who I've
Okay.
recently spoken with. I can
Okay.
follow up with them, and um, I can activate this kind of joyful energy in a newsletter that I write.
Excellent. Okay. So for those of you who have, your action steps that are not yet on a calendar, please do so. Get it done, put a reminder, notification, and do it because there have been brain mapping studies that and additional studies that support that the there's a correlation between the follow through on the action with the success of your goal, which, logically makes sense, right? But we need to get her done. Okay. Within the next like 1 to 2, 3 days at the most, right? With whatever action step you took. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So that was
Okay.
just a little snippet of one of the plethora of tools and techniques. I'm actually getting certified in another neurotraining modality. I have 100 hours of training yet to do on that one, but it's exciting. It's
What,
exciting.
want to tell us what it is?
It's called neurotraining. That's the
Oh, okay.
Neurotraining Institute. Yeah. I when I took the 2-day seminar, I was like, ooh, my brain and my body feels more alive and awake and alert and just present than it has in a very long time. And I already do, a lot of brain stuff. So I was like, ooh, I want to explore this and go deeper, right? Because I love anything that's science. And yet I'm also very woo, right?
Good.
I got both brains.
I love that. And I first of all, I love that because you kind of went from woo to science, and now you're starting to hear physicists going from physics to woo, right? Like,
Yes.
forget his name, but a physicist who had like a higher consciousness awakening and started to study consciousness. So we're coming, we can't stay in the box of like the small science box. Like it needs these two realms to intersect, I think. So you can feel the liveliness of it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And what you're up to, like it has a lively energy. And I think that's part of this concept of expanding into a new story, because woo and science, so to speak, have been in opposite fighting arenas, kind of.
Well, I love that science is now giving credibility to things that we've known in metaphysics for years.
Wow.
I mean, I was seeing auras as a kid, and then Carillion photography and other types of ways to measure that we have an aura. Came out and brain mapping. I did a technique called brain regeneration using pranic healing. This was maybe 12 years ago. And we did brain mapping before and after, and it showed 25 to 40% change in the brain. That was
Wow.
12 years ago. And I've
Wow.
learned so much since then, you know? It's fun. Like all this stuff is really fun and exciting to me.
I love it. All right, so tell us what you decide to give people for their free gift, and then they'll also be able to find you and all the
Yes.
more goodies you have.
Okay. So I'm giving you my quantum empowerment technique. It's a little mini healing session using that technique for coaches, healers, and entrepreneurs so that you can be more prosperous and abundant. The quantum empowerment technique was a modality that was downloaded to me maybe 5, 6 years ago that combines neuroscience plus ancient Chinese medicine plus aromatherapy and trauma release work and getting like it's a really cool technique. So you can come and play and get some great benefits from that, and the link will be wherever she puts it.
It's on the page. Click the
Somewhere.
link below this video and it'll take you right there. Put your name and your email in and bumpity lumpity, you'll get everything. And then you can always go, look up Tiffany's website and find even more goodies there. It's very, very fun to hear what you're up to. I feel like you are part of expanding into a new story. That is literally what I perceive you as doing.
Thank you.
And I think we're being called to this. So I'm just thrilled to hear what you're up to. It's really a delight. So leave us with one last thought or so before we wrap up.
When you get empty and you let go of the egoic fears, wants, desires, attachments, repulsions, and you just get empty, you can be a vessel. Like, it makes space for God to flow through you. So when I'm putting myself out there in all these really visible ways right now, I'm doing it because I keep emptying and I keep letting myself be that divine instrument, that vessel. So when you're feeling afraid to go to that next level of visibility or next level of success in your life, in your business, get empty
Mm.
and then just let yourself be that divine vessel. And what you'll be filled with is love, divine love, divine light, divine power, which allows you to accomplish anything.
Beautiful. That's just a profound truth and teaching, and we are getting there. We are getting there. We are getting there. Tiffany, thank you so much. And everybody watching, go get her free gift, dive in, trust where you're being called. And as I always say in farewell, remember to go out in the world, share your story, live your purpose, and be a blessing. Bye, folks.
Bye-bye.